Welcome to In the Know, and we're going to be talking about somebody that's been in the community that we're all familiar with, but we're going to get to know them a little bit better. And we have a guest with us this evening, and she's been with them for a while, and we're going to let her introduce herself. But Ms. Brookshire, introduce yourself and tell everybody who you're with.
Hello, I'm Pam Brookshire. I'm the Vice President of Community Services at Brightpoint, and I have been there a while. It'll be 37 years in July.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a minute since I've been at Brightpoint. For those of you that don't know Brightpoint Community Action of Northeast Indiana, we changed our name in 2012. 2013, the boss is going to get mad at me if I don't know the exact year. But we are Brightpoint, proud to be and proud to have been associated with the organization all these years.
Thank you, and welcome. We
Thank
welcome you,
you.
and thank you for taking time to join us.
Thank you for having me. I feel very blessed to be here. Thank you.
Now, in a broad scope or in a synopsis, tell us exactly what Brightpoint, or as we do know, CANI, tell us the purpose of CANI or Brightpoint.
All right. Well, Brightpoint is a community action agency. We've been around in one way, shape, or form since 1965. We started out as the Allen County Economic Opportunity Council. We had 3 programs: legal services, Head Start, and a food bank that eventually became Community Harvest Food Bank.
Oh, okay.
So we spun that off long before I got there. But we are part of Lyndon Johnson's War on Poverty, 1965, when that legislation was enacted. We are one of 23 community action agencies in the state. We are one of over 1,000 in the country. We've gone from serving just Allen County to now serving 26 counties across Indiana. We have 6 counties that we call our community action counties, but we have an official service area of 14 counties, but we provide services in actually 26 counties.
Oh, wow. Y'all are busy.
We are very busy. We are spread out. We have great staff, great people. Sadly, we don't provide every program that we have in every county that we serve, but we touch each county with at least something.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
And you remember all of that. You're doing great. Your boss will be very proud of you.
Oh, well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. I'm trying.
Yeah. So give us some programs that Brightpoint, other than CANI, I mean, Head Start, everybody knows about the Head Start. And that was
Not
one.
everybody does it.
Well, true. I assume
So
everybody.
here's the part of
There you
Head
go.
Start that maybe people don't know. A few years ago, we started offering Early Head Start, which is a program for pregnant women, infants up to 3 years old. And it's a home visiting program. We also have it in classrooms in a couple of our rural counties. But it is to help parent-child bonding, get child development going, and essentially get the child prepared for Head Start. Mm-hmm. So it's an easy rollover into Head Start, and Head Start gets the child prepared for kindergarten. So it's a great transition program. We've been doing that now. I'm not going to even guess because I don't remember, so forgive me. But that is a program of Head Start that most people don't realize that we do.
I didn't know that, so they didn't enlighten me.
So,
And I'm glad you said that, but I think you said people take for granted that everybody knows. Well, I don't have children. I really don't know what Head Start is. Okay. So I'm assuming it's something to do with education. It's your first step to...
It is preschool program for 3 to 5 year olds. We have part-day classrooms. We have full-day classrooms. We are converting over into all full-day classrooms, slowly but surely. That's a process where we have to work out with the federal government. But we feel, and parents they want full-day care for their children, so we are trying to offer that as much as possible.
Okay. Yeah.
So the full day class that everybody's probably most familiar with is our Hannah Creighton Center.
Yes, by the Urban League.
Over by the Urban League in the library.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that's good.
I'm sure that has been tough on parents not having a full day. So this is
yes, it is really hard when you're told you have to go to work, but we're saying you have to pick your child up by noon or drop them off by 12:30 and then pick them up by 3. So one of the best things we've ever done is provide a full-day classroom education situation for people. Now, we can't serve as many children that way, so that is a drawback. Okay. But we're providing better services for the children that we are serving, getting them more prepared for the classroom setting when they move on to school. and parents have a safe, secure environment while they go to work.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But other than Head Start, you Brightpoint or Can I? And because I keep saying Can I, because
I know you're not alone.
More people are going to understand when we talk about Can I than Brightpoint. But you have a lot of family-based programs and a lot of help programs for communities and people that are going through some trials in life. Can you give us some in-depth on some of those?
Some more familiar programs are probably our Energy Assistance Program. That is our largest program by number of people we serve and the amount of money that we spend. Across our 6 counties, we probably serve between 9,000 and 10,000 households a year. We spend well over $5 million, $5 to $6 million. Most everybody knows that. When I first came here, everybody called it Project Safe. Mm-hmm. It is now the Energy Assistance Program. We call it EAP. To go along with that, we have a weatherization program. Sadly, we cannot serve as many households with that program, but it is a program to help make to make homes more energy efficient. Mm-hmm. So we can address air leakage. We can address faulty furnaces or faulty heating systems. We can address moisture issues, but we can't make the house pretty, we can't replace a roof, but we can make the home more energy efficient so that if they are on EAP, then their benefit dollar goes farther. Mm-hmm. It is also a great program that it stabilizes housing stock, and it makes the housing stock good for the next resident who's going to live in there. We can do that for homeowners or renters as long as we get the landlord's permission.
Okay, I was going to ask the question, did you have to be a homeowner, but you allow renters for
yes.
that? Okay.
Okay, and there obviously there's some qualifications
right.
of this stuff.
If they are eligible for EAP, they're eligible for weatherization.
Mm.
So it's the same income guidelines.
Oh, same income, so everything's based on income?
It is. Those 2 programs are. Head Start is. The vast majority of our programs are based on income, and our income guidelines are all over the place depending on the program.
All right, before we get into any more programs,
how do you know what it is? No.
How do we get it? How do I find Brightpoint or Can I? Or how do I approach them for help?
Well, there's a couple of ways that you can do that. Our headquarters is downtown, so we're on the corner of Washington and Barr, 227 East Washington. We don't do walk-ins like most people would think, but we have a great receptionist at the front window who will answer any questions somebody has. We have paper applications in our lobby. We also have a great information center outside adjacent to the alley between us and Cottage Flowers. Mm-hmm. Anybody can drive up to that and pick up applications for EAP, our Child Care Development Fund, Housing Choice Voucher Program waiting list. We keep that stocked, so if you're not comfortable with the internet, we have paper applications available there. The other way to access everything is through our website, mybrightpoint.org. Pretty simple. The website opens up. There's a little icon that says Get Help. You click on that, and all this stuff will drop down. And if you click on different categories of help that you're looking for, then like the Energy Assistance Program, a great online application, you can apply that way. Child Care Development Fund, the waiting list application, also online, you can apply that way. We try to provide as many various ways as we can. Our funders are going strictly to an online platform eventually, but thankfully they understand that not everybody is computer savvy.
True.
We do serve with our Energy Assistance Program. About a third of the people that we serve are elderly and disabled. Mm-hmm. They're not always the most tech savvy, so they are at least considering that and keeping the paper application in place.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Wow, she just knocked out like 3 questions. So thorough. So right there, I think this is a good place for me to say, as far as either program, the far-reaching effects. Mm. How do you see these programs or people that have been a part of these programs in the future? Do you keep up or track any type of way to see how you have played a part of, I'm going to call it their comeback?
Well, let's say for the Child Care Development Fund, CCDF, parents can stay on that program as long as they're eligible until their last child turns 13. So if they come to us with an infant and they stay, let's say they have 4 children and they stay until that youngest child turns 13, then we can see their progress in their education and employment over the years as they have stayed on the program, and use that program to further their careers and further their education. Great program for parents. Energy assistance we kind of look at as a basic need. So we're stabilizing housing for people, hopefully, especially for seniors. They can't afford to heat their homes, so this lets them stay in their home instead of maybe having to find an alternative living situation. So the few months of benefit they get, it's just enough to get them where they need to be, and they can live more comfortably. Weatherization, the same thing. Their environment's more comfortable, it's more affordable, they can stay in their home, stabilizes housing, stabilizes neighborhoods. I think of everything that we do of having a huge, large reaching impact. Most people don't see that when it's an application, you fill it out, you turn it in, you get $500 on your utility bill. But you have to look beyond just what that $500 is.
Correct.
We also have our family development program, which is a general case management program. And if we can get people to work with us, we will stay with families for up to 5 years. And as long as they're working on goals and we are helping them achieve those goals, then we will continue to work with them and hopefully change their lives as well and show them a different way. A different path, if you will.
Yeah.
And then we have all these services we can wrap around them while they're working with us in family development.
Yeah. And when Doc V, and we're going to get back into more of the services, but I have a question. And you've been there 37 years, and then you say it started with the Lyndon Johnson War on Poverty. Have you seen a pendulum or upswing? Have you seen is it a bell curve effect? How do you see the progress in which, the community, is it at peaks and valleys, or how does it go?
I would say peaks and valleys. When I first started, the whole focus was on energy needs, utility, affordability. Now we're in a housing crisis, okay? And not that we've never, ever been out of a housing crisis, but I've never seen it this bad. It started with COVID, and it just has really not gotten any better since COVID left. I was talking with Dr. V a little before the show, and we have a housing assistance call line that we ask people to call when they have a housing issue, a housing problem. We get between 40 and 50 calls a day.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
And about half of those are people who have been recently evicted. They have nowhere else to go. They're staying with family. They're staying with friends. They don't know where to turn. We have others whose landlords have risen the rent so much they can't afford to stay there anymore. There's no place else for them to go. They have nowhere to turn. And sadly, that's true. It is a very difficult environment if you can only afford so much for housing to find something appropriate, clean, and safe to live in. It's awful. We have some housing assistance programs. We try to help as many people as we can, but it's difficult finding landlords to use those programs and let our residents move in. So we spend a lot of time trying to get landlords to trust us and take the opportunity to lease to this family or this single person and let us show what a good tenant they will be.
And when you say that, because when we talked, we were talking about the fact that a lot of people think that there's a certain person that has to fall in a certain category to even go to Brightpoint and to look for assistance, or there's a lot of other housing areas they could go to, or programs, but that's not the case. And so I was just saying, so it could be one situation that happened, and as she was saying, it could be that the landlord raised the rent. So that 1 month, and what we were saying here, you're making things match up and just barely meet $50 more, and you're actually out of the house.
Yes.
And so, but with that, I think it's real interesting, because if there's only, let's just say a number that I've seen, I'm not sure if this number is still relevant, but 295 landlords, but yet you have 6,000 people that need the service,
Correct.
I mean, that's a serious crisis. So what do you think it would take for landlords to buy in?
That's a really good question. Landlords simply don't. Landlords can be choosy right now. They can, take somebody. I'll give you an example. My daughter has a really good friend. She was looking for her own apartment, and she was running into landlords at apartment complexes that wanted her to earn 3 times what the monthly
That's
rent
insane.
would be
Yeah,
before
that's
they would
insane.
even accept her. And she's a college graduate.
Yeah.
She graduated with a degree in chemistry. She's got a full-time job. But, no kid has got, and we're talking 1-bedroom apartment, $1,000 a month. She's not making $3,000, times 12 to
Right.
show that.
Right.
She's making ample income to pay that rent.
Yes.
But so, and there's no guarantee, even if she were making the 3 times, that she'd still pay her rent on time.
Right.
It's to me, it's very bizarre. Or find a co-signer.
Right.
And that puts parents on the hook, grandparents. And when I used to teach financial literacy classes, my mantra to everybody is never co-sign for anyone.
That's true.
So she finally found a place, but it took her, I don't know, 4 months, 5 months. And it's ridiculous. So, you're someone with a limited income and you're looking at that kind of barrier. There's just no way.
Yeah. And not only with, because you really explain the homeless prevention program, but you also have like veterans programs.
We do. We have a supportive services for veteran families, which is 2-parter. We can provide homeless prevention services. So if a veteran family is about to be evicted, we can hopefully intervene with that. Again, we have to determine eligibility, but we can hopefully intervene, stave that off, provide a few months of additional assistance, and get that family stable. We also offer rapid rehousing. So if a veteran or a veteran family are in a shelter, on the streets, living in their car, we can hopefully intervene with that and find them a stable place to live, provide them with assistance to move into that permanent housing situation, and then help them for a few months after that. We do not help with mortgages. I always have to clarify that. Sometime I got myself in trouble by not saying that, so I'm saying it now. But so it's a rental assistance program, but it's to prevent and to resolve homelessness.
All right. Now, in one of the guidelines, and I wanted to say you keep saying his income, is it like everything else with services, you got to be like 133% of the poverty level?
It just depends on the program. So energy assistance, for example, is 60% state median income. Don't ask me to tell you what that is off the top of my head. Veteran services, we can serve up to 80% area median income. We try to focus on the 30% area median income, which is pretty poor. It's about 100% of the poverty guideline. Head Start is 125% of the poverty guideline. CCDF, the child care program, they just recently raised the guidelines to get on the program to 150% of poverty. You can stay on the program until you get to 220% of poverty. Now, your subsidy may come down. So if I'm on the program, getting on the program, they may pay all of my child care. But as my income improves, then they may pay less and less and less, and I pay more and more and more, so that once my income gets to a certain level, I can more comfortably take on the entire amount.
Right. Well, child care is like rent right about now.
It's worse.
Man.
It is worse.
Man, child care. I know families paying, if they got 3 kids, they're paying $600-900 a week or to a month, in child care because, it's $133 a child and a week.
If you have an infant in a licensed center, it is over $400 a week.
That is ridiculous.
It is.
Yes.
It is awful.
Yeah.
So 2 children, a toddler, and an infant, it would easily be, I don't know, $700. $600 a week.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
At a licensed center.
Listen,
Now, there are other levels. But
I said, I'm sorry, people with children, but that would be a contraceptive in itself to me. Anyway.
It's out there like that. Yeah,
So I
it's
was
out
going to
there.
say, so is that, I'm going to call it, is that the STEP program or some type of
that
step
is
mentor
what
program?
they don't want to call it a market rate. I forget the new term. I'm sorry. They're making significant changes in CCDF right now, which is really going to affect the provider side, not so much the parent side. But that is the approved market rate for a CCDF payment to a licensed center. A ministry would be a little less. A home would be a little less. It just depends. Again, it's to try and hopefully give the parent some choice. But yes, I mean, I think, parents are figuring out, if it's a 2-parent household, one of us can stay home and one of us can go to work, and we're just better off doing it that way than both of us working.
Right.
Even if we could afford childcare, we don't need the stress and the aggravation of 2 parents trying to get out of the house with the kids.
And with that, not only do you do services that help, there are things you do to help that can improve communities and things like that. I know the youth, you have the JAG program in the high schools. Can you give us a little synopsis about the JAG program?
I will certainly try. So JAG stands for Jobs for America's Graduates, and it is a program for juniors and seniors in high school who are at risk for dropping out, but also to provide career exploration, what's going to happen after high school. So post-secondary education, military, employment. We try to give the kids that enroll in JAG all kinds of experiences. We provide work experiences that we pay them for to give them some ideas of some of the careers they might be interested in, to give them a little work experience, give them a little work ethic. We are in all high schools and Fort Wayne Community Schools. Yay. We're also in Heritage in New Haven. In East Allen County schools. But we have 14 programs, in 13 high schools. We're just not located in Allen County, but we have programs in DeKalb, Noble, Wabash, and Whitlas. We are not in Kosciuszko. Okay. That is not our region.
Okay.
But it's a great program to give kids a chance to think about college if they never ever thought about college before, and trying to help them figure out which college and what they want to do and how to get the money to go to college. So we spend a lot of time on financial aid, helping them with FAFSA. I think it's a great program. I would like to do it earlier and younger. I think if we could get to kids in middle school, that would be ideal. The program itself that model's not there yet, but we're trying. We have JAG specialists. They act like teachers, but they're in all the high schools. But they also provide some case management. So we also follow up with the kids that graduate from year to year. They stay on the specialist caseload, so they're doing follow-up with them that first year after they graduate, as well as doing their JAG duties with the kids that they currently have in class. We just got done with our career development conference, and so we're sending about a dozen kids to the state competition in March, and so we're excited about that to see how the kids do. To go along with that, we have Focus Forward. So if you're a youth 16 to 24 that didn't graduate high school or are not working or parenting, then we have a similar program for that age group. And we can do that in all 9 counties of our region, help them get their HSE, help them look at career exploration. We have funds to help pay for certifications and training, help them get their kid, if they are parenting youth, try and get them with childcare so we can get the kids into early education environment. And we're actively enrolling in that program as well. We want JAG kids, we want Focus Forward youth. So if anybody is interested, we would love to have them contact us or give us some ideas of kids to contact, and we will be all over it.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good program.
Yeah.
That's a good program.
Did you have anything before I?
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, do you also have business programs?
We do. I'm not as schooled in those programs, but I brought notes. So we have the Brightpoint Development Fund, which is a micro-lending entity subsidiary of Brightpoint itself. We have small business loans. We also have we call it financial foundations, but it's a chance to work one-on-one with the financial coordinator, but also in group settings, financial literacy classes. So try and help you get credit cleaned up, try and help you budget, try and help you get on a more firmer financial footing. We do that with our lending customers, especially if they need to do a little work before we can approve them for a loan. So help them get their finances more in order. We help them establish a business plan, just get them in a better start position so that they're more successful with their business. We love small businesses. We also have our Community Loan Center. If anyone knows my boss, Steve Hoffman, you know that he is vehemently opposed to payday lending. Every year he goes down to the legislature, and if there's even a whiff that the payday lending industry is trying to get some horrible bill through, he and other members of his little group, they go down and they testify and try to advocate to get rid of the bill, trying not to get it to pass. They have been very, very successful. So one of the arguments that they always get is, people have to have something. If they don't have payday lending, they're all going to go to loan sharks and get their knees cracked, okay? So there is a model called the Community Loan Center, and it is a lending program. It does charge interest. It charges interest at a higher rate than you would probably get at a bank, but it is available to employees of employers who would sign up with us to join the Community Loan Center. And there's no real work for the employer. It's just the HR department making sure that the payroll deduction, is working properly. The employee simply goes online and applies. Once they're approved, then it's all done behind the scenes. The employer never really needs to know. So it's a very simple process. It's just a matter of getting more employers to join so we can have this benefit available to their employees. We've had, our largest employer is Parkview. Parkview is a big member of the CLC. Brightpoint's a member of the CLC. And we have, employers in between. So, but not enough employers are taking advantage of that. So we would love to have more employers come on board with the CLC. But, it's certainly not loan shark interest rates at all. It is a higher interest rate, like I said.
But it's not the 128%.
No, 330%, whatever. It's 10 maybe. Yeah. I'm trying to remember the last time. I mean, I borrowed from it when my daughter got married. I needed a little something to carry, to get her through. So, and it was quite simple. They took it out of my paycheck every 2 weeks, and it was very easy. Yeah.
And along with that program, there's another program before we get out, the Bounce Back program.
Bounce Back, yep.
Can you give us some information about the Bounce Back program?
Bounce Back is a program that we have with churches within our service area. When their congregation members are having issues, they can go to the church, their pastor, their benevolence person, and say, I need this assistance, and then they can make a referral to us. The churches are partners. They have donated into this fund. And then, we do the investigating, I guess is the best way to put it. And if we find out that it is something that the Bounce Back can assist with, then we go ahead and process it. That way the church itself, they don't really have to get into their congregates' personal affairs and can maintain, a cool just a step back from the situation, and we do all the necessary work, and then we report back to the church whether or not we assisted that congregation member.
Okay.
We are also looking for more churches to join, if they would please. I think the ones that we have about 30 partner churches across about 10 counties, and it's a very simple process, and we don't ask that the churches donate a specific amount. Any amount is fine. It's just really, making the referrals and participating in the process.
Okay. And before we leave, you said the community, the churches, employers, tell everybody again how they can become affiliated with Brightpoint and what do they need to do to either get help or become an affiliate of Brightpoint.
Do you want me to rattle off all the phone numbers?
Whatever information you can give them.
Okay. So, to get general Brightpoint stuff, our website is mybrightpoint.org. Our general phone number is 800-589-3506. Follow the prompts. Very important. Follow the prompts. It's a very lengthy voicemail. Follow the prompts. Be patient. We have paper applications at our information center outside the alley between us and Cottage Flowers. You can drive up and get any application that you would need. If you're having a housing crisis or problem of any kind, it is 423-3546, extension 332. That extension is very important, 332. That nobody answers that phone. It's a message phone, but somebody will get back to you. Our website, mybrightpoint.org, we have all of our programs listed. Hit the icon that says Get Help. Everything will drop down, and you can just peruse at your leisure which programs you think that you need or would like to get more information about. Apply for the ones that you want to with the online applications. Follow the directions. Hit the submit button. You'd be surprised how many people don't hit the submit button. And then go from there. But we want anybody who wants help, who thinks they need help, who has questions to contact us so we can see what we can do.
And you got the community. Now, how can I, if I was an employer, how can I get with the program, or who should I contact?
Email me or email Matt Crouch. Matt Crouch at mybrightpoint.org. He will get them directly involved with the CLC, and he knows all the ins and outs. I would say me, but I'm just going to get them involved or directly in communication with Matt because I don't know. Okay. But Matt Crouch.
One more, and for the churches, for the
churches, email me, and at Pam Brookshire, Pam Brookshire at mybrightpoint.org, and I will get any church organization that is interested in bounce back to the right person to have a visit and an explanation of the program.
Wow, I didn't know Brightpoint did all of that. I'm glad you were here today because you gave me some insight. I didn't know they did all of that. So, and as Doc V, I shouldn't have took for granted that people knew all that Brightpoint did because fine. It is multifaceted.
A lot of people don't know that Brightpoint offers all that. They just know that somebody offers EAP or Head Start or something. So I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to come and brag a little bit about the organization that I love.
Right. And we thank you for coming. Before we leave, does anybody else have any questions or anything?
No, she was very thorough.
Very thorough.
Sorry.
No. Never be sorry for giving the information. You've enlightened us all, and you gave great information.
Thank you.
And we want to thank you again, Ms. Brookshire.
Thank you so much.
We'll have you back on something. I know we had Mindy on here before. So
Mindy's great.
Yeah, so we'll have Brightpoint on here at another time or something that we're doing a community. We'll welcome you or anybody else from Brightpoint to come join us. Yes. We want you to join us tomorrow for MV in Depth. We're going to talk more about the community resources, but also why there is a need for these community resources. We're going to examine why it's such a great need that we need these community resources and find other ways that we can help our community, become self-sufficient. But we thank you for watching us and staying with us. And before we leave our people, what do we always say?
Always protect your mind.